go along with that. So 3, 2. All right, aloha and welcome to all the beautiful shifters and light guardians tuning into this in the future. So just as a quick introduction, this is a paradigm shift circle recording, and these are conscious facilitated voice only conversations that we do through our Discord server, which are normally non-recorded. However, just given my excitement around this theme and given just again an opportunity for us to be able to practice recording and broadcasting this to both YouTube and this may get uploaded to Spotify. For anybody listening to this, this is also an invitation for you to join in for future Paradigm Shift Circles, which again, we do Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. EDT, 10 a.m. PDT, and 6 p.m. GDT. And that's simply through the Discord, and you can tune in, and it's very much just kind of super casual. You can jump in partway through and feel free to listen, feel free to practice sharing, and yeah, feel free to drop in when you can. And with that said, we'll get things rolling with today's topic of can art change the world, just as it were any other paradigm shift circle. And Carly will be facilitating today. So with that said, thank you everyone. Again, we look forward to seeing you at future paradigm shift circles within the Discord, and enjoy. Carly, I'll pass it over to you to begin the facilitation as we would normally. So when you're ready, Carly, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Paradigm Shift Central Circle. Before we get started, here's a few guidelines and reminders. Paradigm Shift Circle Central Circles are an intentional, sacred digital space created to host inspirational, conscious conversation, to nurture our spirits, and to build our community. Circles are not always recorded. Today, this one will be. At the end of the circle, a screenshot will be taken to show the names of those but you are welcome to opt out of that if you. We will let you know beforehand when the screenshot will be. Please respect the space, respect your fellow members. You are welcome to listen or to speak, or both. Your energy is so welcome. To step on stage, please just use the raise hand button. Will be once on stage, just mute your mic to wait for the facilitators. I will be definitely well. If you're already on stage and you want to, just blink your microphone by clicking the mute and unmute button a few times, then wait. Circles generally go until the top of the hour. We're really pretty good about that, and including at 5 minutes. Tell your friends, invite others who might be interested. That would be so welcome. We're so happy for new energy people. If you have not already, please feel free to join our Patreon. We're so happy to see more leading members joining, especially at the new 33 per month level. That's a big deal. So we're really happy to see more leading members to grow this community, to help support these circles and other events. So thank you again so much for joining and contributing. Please enjoy and be kind. Love you all so much. Does anybody want to get us started? Brendan? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't
Fair.
have my mic up on the recording. So anyways, I was just letting Carly know that her microphone was doing a thing, and we'll move on as normal. And yeah, so Carly, honestly, if you'd like to start us off, you're more than welcome to. Again, just on the question, like, can art change the world? So Carly, feel free as facilitator to start off, and then I can jump in, or anybody else can jump in after.
Awesome. Yes, I'm so happy to do so. I did mention at the beginning for the few people that were here, just that I was kind of nervous about this topic because I thought I'm not an artist, I feel creative a lot of the times, but the perfectionist in me doesn't always allow me to create art. I just feel like, oh, it's not good enough, very much self-critical in that regard. And my family is full of artists. I have aunts and uncles who are painters full time, that just make these incredible works of art, jewelry. My brother makes jewelry, my aunt makes jewelry. Just so many artists in our family, and all of the art in my parents' house and my house, almost all of it is family made. And so it's just very, always intimidating as a child to grow up in a home where art is so highly sought after, but also feeling like I had to be practical and that I couldn't really get into it because I thought, no, I need to, focus on something that will be a steady career. But really, I found most of my joy in art classes and throughout my childhood and expressing myself artistically and creatively. So art still has a very special place in my heart, and I do think that art therapy has helped me so much, just allowing that release of emotions through art. I think it's so necessary in this world today. I definitely think art can change the world. I think theater and music and whatever it might be, there are so many mediums. My grandma used to say growing up, she was an artist in her own right. She was a school teacher most of her life, and then she started painting chairs as my grandmother, I don't know, in her late 60s and 70s. And the things that she made were just so beautiful. And I said, "Oh, Nanny, I'm not an artist like you, like the rest of the family." And she took both my hands in hers and she said, "Carly, everyone is an artist. They just haven't found their medium yet. You haven't found your medium, but one day you will." And that still lights me up and makes me go, "Oh my gosh, like she's so right. I just need to keep exploring and really trust that I'll eventually find that." So hopefully my microphone was all right that time. I was a little more conscious of it. Um, if anybody wants to speak, feel free to mute and unmute. Oh, Jen, I see you down there.
Yes. Okay, can you hear me?
Lovely.
Hi, my name is Jenny. This is my first time on Discord. Wow, I'm
Oh,
old.
welcome, Jenny. Oh no, I
No,
just
I'm just
joined a
kidding.
little while ago. I thought, what is this?
My teenagers have it. This is a really cool topic. Um, After I had my awakening in 2015, and about 3 months after that, after I kind of when I got my head together again, first thing I went for was a compass, and I didn't know why. And sacred geometry has been like a pivotal for me from the past 5 years. I mean, it has like gone with me on this little journey, and every time I kind of like up, go up another level, I feel like I can draw something else or something I've been trying to draw for a long time. And then I do something like a change of behavior or something, and then all of a sudden I can draw it with the sacred geometry, with my compass and all of that. Um, yeah, it's really, yes, art can change the world. I have, if I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Whew. um Me and my girls do art all the time, and I do all kinds of different stuff. But yeah, art can definitely change the world, and we don't even know what it does to us consciously. Colors, everything affects us so much in the subconscious. Everything. So we need to learn more about that, I think, and realize what pictures and what geometries and colors and shapes and all these things are doing to our consciousness, and then help it.
Yes,
So
Becca, go
that's
ahead. That was so beautiful, Jenny. I loved it. Sorry, Brendan.
yeah,
So true.
it
And so
is
many
true,
good
and I'm not
things
used
that
to
we could
talking.
say. Oh my gosh, I was taking some deep breaths while I was muted. I was like, oh, I'm nervous too.
You spoke beautifully, though. I'm getting better. I don't I haven't I've been meaning to do this for a little while because I don't connect with a lot of people, and this feels really good. I don't
Yes.
It's nice talking to people that don't think I'm crazy.
Oh no, we all have our own crazy here. We are very, very
Oh,
accepting and very
yes.
loving community.
Yes,
So
and I
please be
love that.
yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect.
I can't be anything but myself now.
Yes,
So if somebody doesn't
exactly.
like it, I just have to remove myself. 'Cause I can't do anything else. It's yeah.
Gotta be authentically you.
I
Yes.
I
And
do. I do.
right?
Yeah, I do. And that's what is so cool about art, Again, it's you can put yourself out there on a piece of paper, or be the because we're the paper, we're the paintbrush, we're the everything. We're the creator, we're the palette. So we get to experience that on another level, break it down.
Beautifully put. Oh my goodness.
Thank
Mind
you.
blown. I love that. Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah,
So
yes.
lovely.
Thank you for
Becca, did you want to say
appreciating it.
anything? Absolutely, yes. Just so happy. If you want to keep talking, feel free. But if anybody else, I thought I saw Becca mute, blink her microphone. Cool. Yeah.
When we're doing this, like a big thing that I always remind people that these spaces are created for practice. I created these spaces because I know people don't get a chance to be able to always practice talking about these metaphysical outside the box topics. So yeah, thanks for joining in. And I did also just want to double check, Jen, just to confirm, like this broadcast for today in particular is being broadcasted and recorded outside on YouTube. And I just wanted to be able to confirm with you and get your consent as we're just doing that, because I hadn't updated the title of the event in the Discord prior to joining. I just wanted to double check. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect.
And I knew
Just
it was going to be done.
perfect. Awesome. Sweet. So we'll keep moving forward, and I'll take a practice here. And again, like when we do this, like I said, like when I create these circles, I've been able to see them grow, and I see myself grow through them. But I really love the practice of like when we enter these spaces to reflect on the question and seeing it as a practice, to be able to practice stepping into our heart and to just see what comes through in the moment. So I'm super excited to be able to practice. Thank you. I'm super excited to be able to practice talking today about the question, can art change the world? And sorry, Jen, if you can just double check your mute. And Jen, to confirm, when you have something to say next, just blink your mic. It's like a little thing that we use to facilitate here. So just blink your mic, Carly will see it, and then she'll facilitate from there. And thanks again. So, okay, I'll take a swing at this real quick, and then I'll pass over, I believe, either Becca, Shira, Kelly, and Jen again. Can art change the world? I was talking to Lacey about this morning, just while we were having coffee and practice and talking about it. And it's like, my goodness, like, first of all, can art change the world? Well, even just what we've talked about so far, I think it's quite obvious that art can change our world. It can change one of us. It can change our ability to be able to express ourselves. It's like through the expression of art, we actually find ourselves. And that's such a powerful thing. And so, this idea of can art change the world? Absolutely, it changes us. And then therefore we change the world. And it's so layered and it's so beautiful. And I'm so excited to be able to talk about this question. Obviously, all the questions that we do here in the circles, they're chosen like very intentionally. It's just like, oh, cool, this will be a very subjective journey of hearing people practice talking about this. And so for me, like, I'll just talk on this just for a minute. With like the idea of art, it's like art is literally the universe communicating to itself through the language of symbols. Like the universe does this, it communicates to itself through symbols. We see this in dreams, we see this everywhere. And so like this idea of art being something that can literally not only it's something that consciousness can use to communicate with itself. It's something that consciousness uses to change its own self-awareness. And then this is where you get into the idea of like art being used for storytelling. And you guys know I'm such a big fan of like storytelling and the mythos and the legacy of the light guardians and all of these things that we can create through the shared expression of art. And I love the idea, I'll just say this, that the fact that the word art is literally in the word heart, so you have this idea of heartist, which I think is a beautiful, and that term to me, I first heard it when I was in California, and my buddy out there, Brian, he started like using it. I'm just like, yes, I love that term. It's so true. It's so us. And so art is a connection through the heart. And so much of this journey is a connection through the heart. And art leads us there. It takes us on journeys. It gives us a mirror. We see ourselves through it. So I'm excited to talk more about it today. And there's a lot more I'm sure I could say, but I will pass it back to Carly. Thank you everyone again for being here.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Somebody else? Becca, let's do it.
Thank you, everybody. It's nice to meet new people, as always. Yeah, like yesterday, I had a conversation with someone, and we were talking about the differences between art therapy and color therapy. And I didn't even know that, like how much color, sorry, I lost my voice then. How much color can unlock about our personalities, the way we think, the way we are attracted to certain things and people, and how much influence it has on, you know, our world as well as other people's. And when I've learned a lot about like how art can change um the world through actually embarking on art therapy with my own child, and learned that different, types of art, including like media making and graphic design and architectural work, it's all art. It forms, the cities that we live in, the houses, and it forms so much of our outer world, but it can also have such an important effect on how we build up our inner world as well. Um, and it can unlock it can literally unlock our subconscious, and relay to us things that we didn't even know we were holding inside of us. And the interesting thing is that the interpretation can be different for everyone. And I think that the same can be said for spoken language. It's still an art form, and as I've been going through my own journey of connecting with, art and other outlets, it's given me more of an understanding on how communication can be deciphered differently from everybody, for everybody, and our understanding is, um, sorry, sometimes limited um, by our belief systems and how we have grown up, and the world as we know it. So when we open ourselves up to expressing in different ways and open our subconscious to art forms, we're literally rebuilding and re-collaborating the way that we see our inner world and reflecting that into the outer world for everybody else to experience and to maybe change something inside them, the people that witness it. So I really do think that, it's a beautiful thing that does definitely have a major impact on the world, even when people don't think that they're interested in art forms. We see it everywhere and we just don't realize it, that the world itself is a work of art, and it's beautiful.
That was so lovely. That very much just, I just sighed a sense of relief when you said that because it's so true. The sky is always amazing. You never see the plants, the scenery that we have on the planet is stunning, gorgeous. So I love that. Thank you, Becca. Brendan, did you speak? And flashing, was it Flash or Shira? Oh, okay.
I'll
Flash.
just say something really quick, but Becca, like that's really powerful. I appreciate that so much. And just kind of connects me with like the idea of like art history a bit, and how has art already had an impact on us through our history. Like I personally am so interested in like the cave paintings in France, and I know some were found recently, Central South America. I'm forgetting the exact location, and like there's these murals that are like 4 stories high that were done so long ago, and it's just I don't they thinking about like why what compelled someone to do that, like what was the purpose there, and just the impact that has had on the world. I don't know, I'm still thinking about that, but I definitely appreciate just this topic in general, and just how art is really about vulnerability for me in particular. And the more we are vulnerable with ourselves and vulnerable then with each other, it creates that deeper connection that I think can create change. But yeah, that's all I have to say right now. Thank you.
Wonderful addition. Thank you. Yes, Brandon, go ahead.
Thanks, Carly.
Okay, my turn.
Sorry. Sorry, I'll just jump in real quick. Sorry, who else was unmuting there? Okay.
Me.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right, Jen, I'll go, and then I'm not sure if Kelly or Shira want to go next, but they can also go next, and then we can pass over to Jen. And I was just going to say on what Flash was saying before. So it was funny because like I was talking about this with Lacey this morning as part of our conversation where I was just like, dude, like some of the oldest, like I feel like some of the oldest cave paintings are actually like these very magical things. And I think part of what it actually is almost like this ability, very simply put, like almost the simplest form of it, is this ability of like people when they would be hunter gatherers and they would literally just be, you know, like drawing themselves hunting bison and caribou and everything like that, but it wouldn't just be them like sort of drawing it would almost be them like manifesting it, so like using art as a form to like kind of like bring realities into being. So I'll just say that, and I'll pass the microphone to Carly and then whoever's next after that.
Wow, I saw you blink as soon as she said cave paintings, and I thought, oh, he has got something to say. And that is beautiful. I had never thought about it as the manifestation aspect of the visualization, coming to, fruition by painting. So amazing insight. And Jenny, if you want to go next, feel free to pop in here. I had some thoughts.
Thank you. I live in New Mexico, and we have the petroglyphs here, and that's one of my favorite places to go because there's tons of drawings and I mean old, and there's a vibe there, and a lot of them are spirals and things of this nature, five six-fingered hands and stuff. But the spirals are prevalent in everything, and that the spiral in itself is a symbol for continue on and all of that stuff. And I was thinking too when Becca was talking about the dancing and different forms of art. When I first I had a really intense awakening in 2015, but I started African dancing after that, out of nowhere. I'm very, very white. I had never done anything like that. And out of nowhere, I just started dancing like I was out in the African desert. Never done it before. It was very freeing. It was very, very it was very vulnerable too, though. Like you guys were saying, vulnerability is a huge part of it. And yep, absolutely. Cool deal.
Yes, dance as an art form. I forget something so simple but so profound. Ecstatic dance has certainly changed my life. When I was really deep in a dark depression and sick, I began dancing, doing traditional Indian dance. So, right there with you. There's definitely something about other cultures and their expression of beauty and art form and dance and movement. So, Kelly, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Hi, yeah, on the theme of vulnerability and art therapy. Thank you, Carly and Becca, for talking about art therapy. In trainings, I'm a family therapist. I work with teenagers. We do art therapy. And in my trainings, the instructors were always using the word identity and talking about identity building through art. And so, especially, I'm thinking of middle school and teenagers, how they're just becoming who they're going to be. And they're exploring through art and the vulnerability of, I'm not going to try to draw something like a dog. I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to play with color. I'm just going to do maybe geometric shapes or whatever, and breaking out of the programming of my art needs to be approved of by others, and really just getting into like the getting your hands dirty with actually just expressing yourself, even if it's a sand castle or a collage with magazine cutouts or whatever. Just starting and doing it is how we see who we are sometimes on that paper or on that clay mold we do. And one other thing I wanted to say was, I don't know if we're still using the term light worker or if as we've integrated our shadows or there's a different word we're using, but I remember doing some research on what a light worker is and reading that all artists are light workers because they're inspiring people. So I wanted to share that. Thanks.
Yes, Brendan. Wow, that was beautiful, Kelly. Thank you. Always with the truth bombs and beautiful statements. And yes, so true. You're doing amazing work. Brendan, I'd love to hear what you've got to input.
Thanks, Carly. That was awesome, Kelly. I just wanted to, I'll just speak on it and then we'll pass it to whoever. Jump in real quick and just, yeah, again, really take a moment to like emphasize the role of the artist. You know, like what is the role of the artist? Lacey and I, we our first episode of Magic of the Heart Cave is actually like, what is the role of the artist? And so much of the role of the artist is again about being able to shift consciousness, to help change the way people see things, help change the way people see themselves, and to, yeah, really like create pieces of art that, you know, again, this question of what is art, it really expands into any form of expression. As we were saying, you know, dance in itself is a version of art. There is nothing left on like a piece of paper as a result of it, but it is still undeniably a form of art too. Sorry, I'm just like navigating a cat who's crawling across my desk right now as I grab him. There we go. But what I was going to say is that, again, I feel this whole question that we're having here today, like, can art change the world? Undeniably, the question is yes, and therefore art is our sword. You know, like our words are our sword, which is interesting because like the word sword literally has the word word in it, like SWORDS. And so our words are an extension of our art, and our art in itself is the tool we use to help send out powerful messages, because art is the medium, but what is the message, right? So like, it's not just can we use art? Yes, it's how will we use art, and how will we put messages into it that will inspire people and give them hope and help them heal and connect them to something bigger than themselves, what so many of us here really, really resonate with. And I'm saying it now just to kind of like continue to work as a team towards common objectives. And our common objective right now is to change the world with art. So absolutely the answer is yes. And then from there, there's this beautiful call to action. And the call to action is really nothing less than to connect deeper with your own authentic self. And then through there, naturally your expression of art will arise. And to, this last thing is super important, to surround yourself with a community that will support that expression, that actually encourages it, which is exactly what we're doing here. So this community is here for us as artists to support each other and have these cool meta conversations about can art change the world. So that's all I'll say for now. Maybe I'll jump in a little bit later. And just as a eye on the time, we got until about, again, we'll go close to 2 at the top of the hour, and then we'll see where we're at by then, or wrap it up whenever. So thanks again, everyone. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'll pass it back to Carly.
I love that. Agreed. These metaphysical conversations are so powerful, and yeah, these spaces have certainly changed my life, given me ability and kind of the confidence to be vulnerable. And I know one of the first art projects I did was last year. I was living at my parents', going through a depression after my ex and I split, and trying to raise my son and trying to work through all of these shadows and really face my demons. And one of the first art projects I did was just a huge piece of notebook paper. I got this big pad of paper, jumbo, body sized, and I painted this redheaded little scary little demon child that my mom was terrified of. She was like, "This is the scariest thing I've ever seen." And it just said, essentially it was, you never did anything wrong, you have always been lovable, and you always will be. You don't need to do anything with love. And it was just like, it felt so simple in the moment when those words came out with my paintbrush, and I was just crying, and it was like all this release of energy that I had just held in for 27 years of my life. It was like, oh my gosh, the floodgates. So sometimes we have to just like let it out and know that, I burned that actually a couple weeks ago, and it was such a huge release for me to go, wow, I've come so far in the last, and really it shows through my through my outward personality and experience, but also, you know, my inner world, and feel so much more at peace. So I highly recommend it. And that was something from, I actually do EFT practitioner. I'm an EFT practitioner, and I learned that what they do with many people who have PTSD along with that is have them a mask. And you're literally, most, like, these are military guys, so veterans, who are given a mask, plain old mask to paint, and what they created from it. And some of them were just making me cry. I was watching this whole video of their final products, hearing the people talk about it, and just what they released. Oh, my neighbor's gonna do some yard work. Um, and just how miraculous it can be, and what a huge shift in perception, who you are and what you've lived through, and letting go some of that struggle that we all deal with. Um, just as an amazing story inspiration there. So I hope that we can all do that and find some solace, creativity, and vulnerability, because that's where connection comes from us opening up like this and sharing our hearts and being here with each other to hold space and listen. If anybody would like to speak, I am more than happy. Becca, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody's contribution has been really eye-opening in this conversation, and I just wanted to bring awareness to like new forms of expressing and bringing out art that people don't actually recognize as being art forms, such as like um hairdressing. Hairdressing is an art form. You're literally using your skills to help somebody else express themselves outwardly. And it takes skill and it takes practice, and um, it takes like a lot of dedication and passion to be able to take somebody else's idea and somebody else's vision and bring it to life. And the same like with makeup and modeling, and like these are modern art forms that and how it's developed and changed the world. It's had its negative aspects, but it's also had its positive aspects because it's been able to give people outlets in in forms that are completely different to um what people really see as being art, like um and it's all contributing to somebody's happiness, even if it's only like a temporary um fix sometimes. But I think that all these things, they do shift the way that people think and feel about themselves, and um, it's the aim is in the aim of the game is to promote like individuality and give people you know a voice, even if it's not, even if it's a metaphorical voice. Some people speak through their emotions, some people speak through their appearance, some people speak by not speaking at all. And just this diversity should be encouraged, and I think that the encouragement of that, you know the diversity and the vastness of art forms is what will change the world. And that's what to contribute, and just to thank everybody for you know giving me this time to reflect on that.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
bringing that up. That was a very imperative statement. The art forms that are so overlooked, or even not seen as art by the majority of society, really do need to be appreciated. And Especially, as women, I think we see it more more blatantly is how much a haircut can change our lives, or how much these self-care routines can really bring that self-love out of us and teach us how to be more loving to others. So it's so much more. Art is so much more than just what we typically think of art, paintings and museums and marble statues and whatnot, but poetry and written word and a letter to a friend and um, stickers and pins and all these beautiful things that we share, t-shirts, all this things we sell as merchandise is really, beautiful expressions of our divine beings. So, Brandon, I'd love to hear what you'd like to say.
Thanks. Thank you, Carly. And welcome. I believe Joel just joined. Welcome, Joel. I was just going to say, yeah, like going even back to something I was thinking of when Becca was talking. Thank you, Becca, as well. We are at this very, very, very interesting and fortunate time right now where so much of our life is literally swimming in art. Like the whole concept of like online reality, social media, what we use our phones for, what we use our technology for. So many of us, naturally, we're just kind of like drawn into these worlds of art. And what is the art if not just like the expression of the individual? And so here through social media, like everybody is expressing themselves. And to imagine that in the future, through more interface with like virtual reality, we will literally be living in worlds that are art. We will be in created worlds. And if you want to call that art. So, like it's very, very, it gets very interesting. It gets very meta. It gets very like paradigm shifting. That it's like our reality is literally a construct of art. And so again, what is art if not this ability to be able to literally create worlds? Oh, this was a huge thing. I talked about this in my IG live before, and I didn't mention it yet, where it's like literally the process of art is a process of like being the bridge between like the material and the higher conscious planes. So like things that artists imagine and anything that we can kind of create, relatively speaking, begins as an idea, begins with something in the imagination, begins with something that we can kind of connect into almost like a frequency, and then kind of bring in, crystallize is the word I love to use. So it's like we're crystallizing imagination, higher conscious ideas like into this physical reality. And I think that's something that we can almost like begin to become more conscious of. We can become conscious of the choice and the will to do that, where our art, it becomes something that begins to dial itself. And when we dial it around not only our own self-expression, but also helping meet needs of other people. What do people need art of right now is a great question, right? So like in the same way you think of an epic movie you see that inspires you, how do we create more of that feeling? How do we create more of like the story that is really happening? And then how do we allow others to be able to kind of like feel the excitement through the creation of the art? And anybody who's creating, again, on TikTok and everything, like absolutely 100%, like that is what art has evolved into. And then again, it's like, oh, but what will it evolve into beyond this? I look forward to the future where eventually literally we'll be living almost like in a reality where it's like people can almost, I know this sounds bizarre, almost create dreams and like upload them, and people can download the experience of this other kind of like dream created reality. So our art, I'll just say this, our art will continue to evolve as we evolve. And I think art in itself is this natural expression of a very like God-like aspect of our reality, where what we do, we are creators, we create art. And yeah, it's very interesting. I'll pass it off from there. Thank you guys again. And again, we'll go for a few minutes. Carly, just to confirm if you're okay with that, if you need to jump out early, just let us know. And I'll pass back to Carly. Thank you.
Plenty of time over here, nothing but time. So I'm so glad you both just jumped in here. If you two want to speak, Jen, I know I saw you blinking your phone. So Jenny, feel free to say a few words. We do try to wrap up around the top of the hour, so just be mindful of the time, but happy to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely. Just one more thing. I was just remembering my daughter a couple of years ago, when the energy started getting really intense, started having really bad dreams. Every night she'd have them. And she's so smart. She decided to start drawing them out. And she'd have a bad dream and then she'd draw it out. And that helped her so much. And Brendan, what you were saying about the imagination thing coming, crystallizing, like download, I've said that almost exact same thing to my husband before. It was like I heard my words coming out of your mouth. But that's what it is. Once we get to like fifth and sixth dimension, everything that we think consciously, I think we create. I don't know that, for a fact, but that's kind of what I've been reading. And so if thoughts come manifest instantly, you got to be able to control that. And I think that's what our art is eventually going to do.
So powerful. Thank you. My goodness. And your daughter, I love that. Following her intuition and just knowing this is the right way to release that, right?
It was
Oh my
amazing. Yeah.
Children inspire us all the time. Teach us something new. They are our little teachers. So grateful for them. If anybody else would like to speak, Joel, I know you just joined. Um, Sir Johnson, whose name is escaping.
Yeah, I love to speak. So there's this stuff that I study called the law of time, and it's sort of galactic information, quite galactic actually. And the motto for that is time times energy equals art. And that is also from a galactic lens view. It's like art is always going to be the most efficient form of conveying information. And so just like I literally have a book in front of me called Book of the Mystery. And it's all about art. And goes into rock and roll and music and how all of these arts combine to evolve the human species over time. So the back of the book says this: when we evolve wholeheartedly into an art planet, with the realization of the planet as a work of art, then we will realize that we ourselves, each and every one of us, are the artists that the planet is calling on to instrument evolution into the supramental or superhuman dimensional cycle of galactic consciousness. And so it's like art is very important for the evolution of things. And you could, let's say, write a whole paragraph to somebody, a long paragraph. That information might not be taken in, but a form of art or a meme or something of that nature can convey so much information all at once. And then this information can be taken by the individual from whatever their perspective is. And it might bring more evolution to them or learning. It might just bring them happiness and joy and healing. But all in all, that's quite important. And it comes down to inspiration from source. We can all have access to that. All the children have quite a good access to that, as we all know. And it's just lets the flow of creative energy flow through and blossom this type of beautiful world that we all want to see. I guess that's all I have to add for this moment, although I could talk quite a bit about the subject. Like,
Joel, I was just going to say, I appreciate you sharing, man. I enjoy listening to the way you explain things. So, and I'm welcome to the circles. I'm glad you're able to join in today. So, Joel, go ahead if there's something else you just want to add, and then I think pass back to Carly, and we'll probably just go around one more time with any closing thoughts. So, Joel, if you're still got something else to add, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Yeah, one thing that just came to mind to add is that the quality of the transmission depends on the quality of the artist. And so that's why, great art really great artists really are gifts to the world. And that's why it's also like art comes in so many different forms. It can be just caring for somebody and you being really attuned to that person's emotions and needs. And that is an art in itself. So yeah, thank you very much. And yeah.
Wow. Such profound statements. And I always love when people read, especially when they, you just find that perfect passage that suits the moment and the conversation so well. It's like, this needs to be said. Spirit is guiding me to read this and say this. And I just appreciate you so much. Agreed. Your voice is wonderful. Very nice to hear you speak. Thank you. And my friend who caretakes for his mom, I'm going to pass that on to him because it's such a hard job to care for someone full time that you love. And you really do forget the beauty in that, the recognizing of another person's needs and being able to put them before your own. And just the power in that is so profound. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to pass along that message. Anybody else? Closing thoughts? Gratitude. So grateful for everybody who joined us today. I feel like we had such a lovely speaking group. So thank you all for being brave. Appreciate you.
Again, to all those of you who were tuned into the recording of this, and I just realized the last like 30 seconds I accidentally didn't have myself coming through on the recording. So yeah, we'll get close to wrapping this up, and I'll just take one more swing at sharing my closing thoughts on can art change the world. And very simply put, yes, absolutely. And again, as much as the word art is in the word heart, it's also in the word earth. And I know that's already kind of been mentioned, but again, I think what we begin to understand, and this is a powerful thing to be able to end on, is really just, can we find ourselves at that point within our own conscious journey where we acknowledge that our art is our life? Quite literally, each and every single one of us is our own unique expression of art, which is the expression of heart, which is the expression of earth. We are literally the flowers of earth, or the flowers of earth. It's spelled the same. And so to be able to be at that point, I know I see myself at that point, and I know others in this space also see it. And I know, knowing that that's within us, how do we help lead others to that point where they themselves are at the point where they can see their life as their own unique expression of work of art, and feeling that calling and that inspiration, or the healing, or the whatever the journey needs to be for them. And yeah, just reminding ourselves that by being our authentic self, that is enough. And then out of that, the art arises. So the journey is ever unfolding. And I feel like this will segue nicely into, I just want to segue for Friday's conversation, is what is the soul? So if you guys enjoyed today's conversation, Friday's discussion is going to kind of really be getting into extra metaphysically stuff. So I'll pass it back to Carly, and then yeah, just any other closing thoughts on the topic, and then we'll do the screenshot and then gratitude, and we'll wrap it up after that.
Yes. I know I feel so much more inspired to go home and do art now and just allow that source energy to flow through me. So this has been a great topic for me. If anybody has anything to add, please blink your microphones. So happy. Okay, Sir Johnson.
So basically, like, I've been trying to join for ages, but every time I've joined, someone said something I was thinking at the time, so I was like, oh well, there's no point me talking now. Yeah, basically, someone said about like how natural beauty is like the colors of the natural beauty is just makes you feel amazing, makes you think, wow, that's so picturesque. And then you look at man-made structures, they start off as like a concept, then it turns into like blueprints, and then they create the structures, and each stage of that is just it's beautiful, looks amazing as well. And then Brendan was saying about VR. I think that VR is progressing so much recently, and like the worlds in VR are like so beautiful and well created. And then there's things like I think JK said about memes. I think that's a progression from like films, TV shows, anime. You know, there's things like cosplay as well. They're all like progressions from or evolutions of like how it makes people feel. So yeah, I just want to say thank you everyone for saying what you were saying. It's just been amazing, and thank you for having me.
I
this
completely
this
agree
is
with
such
that.
a cool group. I've gotten goosebumps so many times from everybody talking. If we're the art, we have to make ourselves presentable and looking beautiful so people will watch what we're doing. And that's what I've realized. I stopped trying to tell people, look at me, look at me. I just started shining bright, shining bright, shining brighter. And then all of a sudden people started, hey, what is she doing? Hey, what is that? What are you drawing? What are you doing? And I didn't even have to say anything. So we are the attractors. I think that was a really good point. And thank you everybody for this. This is really cool. I'll definitely be back.
Carly, can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I also just want to express gratitude for everyone here, and I can relate to Jamie's thoughts on like you guys we've all been on the same wavelength where I've been listening. I'm like, oh, I want to share this, and then someone else says it, and I think that's so cool that that's just kind of circulating in here. And it brought up this one quote that I don't know it off the top of my head, but the gist of it is that there's very little in the world that's original anymore. And if we try to focus on being original, we won't ever really create. But if you can come to it as being genuine and authentic, then you still add to the conversation, however, whatever means that is. And I just want to also add that like everybody's an artist, because to be an artist, you're skilled at something. So everyone who's healing in some way, you have that gift of yourself, of your soul to give to the world. You are skilled at being yourself. So you are all artists. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. That was so true, so beautiful. You basically summed up what I was going to say. So I love that we're all on the same page as well. That was just like goosebumps, completely. It's just that feeling of, ah, yes, deja vu. We're in the right place at the right time. This is exactly what we were meant to be doing. So just that recognition of, ah, what a beautiful conversation this has been. Art in its own form. So thank you.
Just wanted, my throat keeps going, but yeah, I just wanted to add, um, my gratitude in there, and just to get you all to recognize that even just this conversation itself is art, it's expression, it's outwardly changing each and every one of us in this circle right now, opening our minds, opening our hearts to discovering um, appreciation for new things that we didn't have a realization for before. And yeah, I just wanted to, express how like exciting that is that there's even being on the same wavelength and expressing, the way that we feel and view and see, art in everything is just showing appreciation for the way that the world is developing, even through these difficult times. Things are moving and shifting in our favor. Yeah, so I think moving forward from this, we can all go out there and appreciate the tiniest things a little bit differently.
Absolutely. And if anybody else wants, feel free. Such a wonderful job.
moving beyond this moment, I think it's so powerful to just be able to intentionally choose to step forward into the future with the intention to, like, the act of art and action. Like, how can we bring art into action more within our lives, and using it as a way to, again, plant seeds, to inspire, to connect people around common ideas. And art isn't just something that will purely entertain people, but it's like something that can invite them to kind of like tune into a shared frequency. Or again, using your art in a way that brings people together who share common visions and dreams, and then the art in itself serves as like a beacon for the community that gathers around the art, you know. And very much like that's exactly what a paradigm shift is as well, and it's this place where we all bring our art. So it's very, very, very exciting. And I just want to end with encouraging everyone to, yeah, like, bring art into action within your reality in whatever simple way that can be for you. And again, out of a way that, you know, you're just kind of making that choice from your free will. And yeah, I'm excited to know that what I think of as art, I think of it as a very literal way to like hack the matrix with love. So let's keep hacking the matrix with love. Let's go kick some butt and shift some paradigms. And yeah, the concept of shiftivism that we'll have to do a whole nother talk on, that is very much the idea of like art in action. And it's you as art in action. You're the expression, you are the medium. And so what is the message of your art? And I think that's a good question to kind of go away from here with. And again, continue this conversation with everybody here. I really invite you to have this conversation with somebody else in your day-to-day. Just ask them, just be like, oh yeah, I was in the circle earlier, and like, what can art change the world? What do you think? Continue this conversation as with any of the circles that we do here, and see what comes out of it. And thank you again, everyone, for a beautiful discussion today, and I look forward to many more exciting ones. So I'll pass it back to Carly, and then Carly, if there's anything you just want to close off with, and then we'll do our screenshot, and then we'll just close it off with any gratitude and feedback on the circle, and then we'll wrap it up there. So Carly, I'll pass it back to you, and thanks again. You did an awesome job facilitating again. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. You make it so easy. Honestly, you guys all moderate yourselves very well and keep yourselves muted, and it doesn't take a lot to have a great time here. So thank you. I feel like everyone expressed some really beautiful things and gratitude and statements and thoughts, and I have a lot to think on today. And I always continue these conversations with almost everyone I speak with. I just say, oh, this is what I talked about today in our group. If you ever want to join, 1 p.m. Eastern time, let's go. So I do love these places, and love being able to invite friends and know that they're going to have a safe space to be themselves and come up with some great new topics and new shifts in paradigms and perspectives. And that's miraculous to have those profound moments in our lives. So this is just keeping us going, and I do appreciate it. So that's all I have. I guess we'll do our screenshot now and then finish up with gratitude.
Carly, I can do a screenshot if that makes more sense.
Cool.
Okay.
That'd be great.
All right, so just for anybody here, we're just going to take a screenshot. We post this in the Discord and sometimes Instagram, and it'll just be something that we can tag people in. It's just a way to show gratitude as well. So if you would not like to be in the screenshot for this in any of those circles, feel free to step off the stage in the Discord, and I'll take the picture in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3. Okay, cool. So thank you again, everyone. There's a few house notes that I'll go over, but we'll do that after we just go around with any gratitude and feedback. How was this for you guys? Did you guys have fun? I know for some of you, you're still pretty new to this. So at this point, anybody who just wants to be able to share, feel free to unmute your microphones, and we'll just kind of jump in, and then from there, we'll wrap it up. So feel free to unmute yourself. Anybody just want to share any feedback, gratitude?
This is awesome. I'm so thankful for you guys. I really needed to, I needed this. So thank you very, very much. And I will be back for sure.
Thank you as well, Jen. I'm glad you had a wonderful time. And every circle that we do is always different. So tomorrow's, and that's one thing that we should just mention, other circles for this week, which again is May 17th to 21st. On Wednesday, the next topic is how do you celebrate yourself? And then on Thursday, it is what is healing? And then on Friday, it'll be What is the Soul? So I think for Wednesdays and for Thursdays, neither of those will be broadcasted outside of the Discord. So again, for any of you who may be listening to this in the future, feel free to make sure you're connected to the Discord to join in with the circles, since they are not always broadcasted outside of Discord. And I know Lizzie's going to be facilitating Wednesday. I believe Ren is facilitating Thursday, and I may be facilitating Friday. So with that said, again, if there's any other just gratitude that anybody else wanted to share. Joel, did you have fun? I know you kind of got to tune in just near the later half, but yeah, Joel, I'm sure you're probably thinking this is pretty cool too. So happy to have you here. Joel, did you want to say anything real quick?
Yeah, it's very much appreciated, and thankful for everybody who helps facilitate and spread these good vibes and awareness. Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Happy to have you here. Anybody else just want to share any gratitude? And then I'll just do some house notes and then we'll be done after that. Hold on, Savvy is coming up. So Savvy, if you're coming up, should work. And hey, Savvy, can you just do a quick microphone check?
Sweet. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect. Yeah, please, by all means, go ahead. Welcome on stage and share whatever gratitude or anything else real quick.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who spoke. I'm feeling super inspired, not only to make some art and express myself, but to talk about this more in my everyday. So thank you so much. This is the first Discord chat I've been to, so I'm really excited to attend more. Thanks so much.
Awesome, thanks, Savvy. Savvy's been to some of the Paradigm Shift London meetings, so it's exciting. Essentially, that's what we're doing here, right? It's like the physical meeting just in digital form and happening 5 days a week. Who knows? Maybe in the future will be more. So, Savvy, thanks again. Anybody else? Kelly or Shira or even Carly, if you want to share more gratitude, we can literally just be here for another 15 minutes just sharing gratitude, and then we'll. Anybody else? So feel free, and then otherwise we'll just do some house notes. So. I know Jessica's just coming up real quick.
Yeah, Shira, go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, Shira, go ahead, and then if
people
Jessica comes up after, we can pass it to her as well.
Thank you. I just want to say that it was so fun just okay, I really liked what you read. I want to know what book that is, if you could come on and let me know. And yeah, thank you guys for hosting another amazing session.
Don't do that. Cut it off. Oops, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jess.
thank you all for, everybody's different perspectives on art. I'm, I kind of lost my artistic side a few years ago, so I'm just kind of going with the flow of things and trying to put it all down on paper. But yeah, I think art can also be, a reflection of yourself or the artist. Not only to get a message out or to relay a thought, but it can also help you look deeper into yourself. Because sometimes what you think you're putting on paper comes out differently or hits differently after it's finished and you read it and you look back and you're like, wow. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone's perspectives today.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. That was wonderful. I'm always happy to see you here. So, and Safi, I'm so glad you joined. I don't think we've met, so I'm really grateful that you spoke and we're here. And yeah, if anybody else wants to say anything, please feel free. I am just soaking up the sunshine and the love from all of you. So.
Cool. All right. I think now's a good time to wrap it up, and I'll just go over quick house notes again. So, first of all, Carly, thank you so much. That was awesome. And for your second time facilitating, that was very well done. And for anybody else, leading members who wants to practice facilitating for future circles, just let me know, and you can post about that in the leading members chat on the Discord. And just again, the reminder for Thursday schedule or Wednesday, Thursday schedule is how do you celebrate yourself is Wednesday, and then Thursday is what is healing, and then Friday is what is the soul. And again, if anybody wants to be able to, if you're listening to this in the future, haven't already yet, just an extra reminder to make sure you're connected to the Discord for future circles that we'll be doing Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. EDT. And future topics and schedules are released on the weekend prior to the week. And again, if you want to get further involved as a leading member, that option is available through our Patreon, and leading members get additional perks and support and lots of cool stuff in the community, including additional events. And for this Thursday, just speaking to anybody here who's interested as well, this Thursday, normally we would have a team podcast. This week, I'm going to be doing a members only event for the Patreon supporters, and it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be all about activating your Light Guardian legacy. So it'll be a bit of a presentation, a bit of a meditation, a bit of a group discussion, and some celebration and embodiment. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, for Patreon supporters, you guys can join. And if you're thinking about signing up for the Patreon, reminder, the contributions process on the 1st of each month. And so even if you're like sign up for the event, you wouldn't get charged on your card until June 1st. And feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions about that. And you can also check out the new Leading Member Plus level at the $33 level as well if you're interested. And stay tuned for more awesome stuff in the Discord from myself and other leading members in the community. And yeah, I'm super excited for more conversations still to come. So for those of you on YouTube in the future or Spotify, check out the links in the info, and we will wrap it up there. So Carly, I'll just pass it over to you, and then anything else, and then we'll be out of here and everybody off on their day to go to create more art and change the world. Yeah. Go team.
Always love it. Love your enthusiasm so much. Hype man forever. So 100%, yes, please join the Discord. Please join the Patreon. We are so looking forward to having new members. Every contribution is welcome. Every idea, every thought, you don't have to fit a certain mold to be in our group. We have people who believe all different things and are completely different people, and we have nothing but unconditional love for each other and to help each other along our journeys. We all know it's so much easier to do it together. So please join if you're thinking about it. Love to hear what people are going to say on Thursday. Oh, that's going to be a good one. And this whole week is going to be great circle discussions. So I'll be there listening in, maybe popping in to say a few words, but for the most part, I do love to listen. So thank you all. You are beautiful beings. Keep up the good work, light workers.
Yay. Everybody, you can just say farewell and until next time to those listening to the recording. So thanks again, everyone. Waving to the, as we always wave to the camera.
The void.
Make sure you wave. Blow some kisses. Yeah.
Love you all.
See you guys next time.
Millions of kisses.
Awesome. All right, we'll finish off the recording here. Thanks again, everyone. Much love. Keep it shifting. And for everybody.